Well, hi, and thanks for joining me in my shop. And what I'm going to be doing in this video is operating the old radio you see, the 1920s radio you see on my bench there. And I'm doing this only because I would like a high-resolution version of this radio operating. Last night on Hangout On Air, I videoed the process of getting this radio going. It was quite an exciting moment when it came to life. But unfortunately, the video quality on Hangouts on the Air, at least coming from my shop here, is not very good. So I'm doing this this version of it here, just so you can get a little better look at it. So all those cables you see and wires going into the radio are feeds for running the heater, supplying B+ and the like. So we'll just take a look at those quickly, so you're not too freaked out by all these cables here. So now there's 4 wires here, right here. 2 of them, these 2, are supplying voltage into the radio. The other 2 are simply voltmeter leads from my voltmeter. There's my voltmeter. And those leads were connected up, right up here, to the output of the power supply, which I'm going to need shortly, so I'll turn it on and get it warmed up. And the reason for that is I wanted to keep an eye on the B+ that I'm pumping into this. If we look into the radio, you see once again a mess of clip leads and stuff like that. And what's going, and you also see a couple of tubes are missing. There's one missing from here. You can hardly see the socket for all the wires, and another socket here with no tube. But there's a tube. That's the tube we're going to operate. And that's all we need to make this radio actually work. This is the radio tube, if you like, and the other 2 are audio amplifiers to boost the signal up. So all we really need again to make it work is this. So that's why we're going to operate the set with just the 1 tube in it. It'll give you a chance to see all the crazy tuning challenges with a set like this. And this is a basically a transformer used for connecting one radio stage to the next radio stage. This one's a little bit of a step-up transformer, and it's all clipped in here because I'm using it as the output transformer from this tube. So the primary plate current is flowing through the primary of this transformer, and out the secondary comes the audio signal. And the reason we can hear it here in my shop is it's connected via this cable here up to my little audio amplifier, which I should turn on because we will need it. There we go. Okay, so we're just about ready to actually start operating the radio. And let's just see if I can get a good spot here. There we go. And probably some interesting sounds coming over my playbook right now as I adjust the. So there you are. So you kind of get a look at the radio. Maybe if I just tip it a little bit further. And you got to watch me work these controls because this is all about tuning them. So probably farther back here is a little bit better. And I'm kind of excited about trying to make this thing work again today. See if we can get the same result as yesterday. No reason why we shouldn't. So the next stage will be to heat this tube up by applying some heater current, and I have a battery. You can see behind there. There's the battery. And that's supplying about 5 volts. It's a little weak, which is perfect. 5 volts maximum to the heater of this tube here. Okay. And to verify, I have to turn off the lights here. Go into the dark. A little darker yet. That's plenty dark, isn't it? And I'm hoping my camera will see this. You can no longer see my hands. So I'm going to just watch where that tube was, if you remember. And see if any any light shows up in it. Yep. Okay, I can see some with my eye. afraid my camera's not going to pick that up. It's very, very faint. I'll turn it a little bit higher. No, you're not going to see it in this image, so we won't worry about it. But that's enough for me to be assured that the tube is heated up, so the filament's hot, electrons are jumping off it there, and now I'm going to apply some supply voltage up by that green dot you can see. There we go. And while I'm doing it, keep an eye on this meter here. Last night we were running around 40 volts, so we'll bring her up to around, we'll bring it up to around, a little too high there. No, that's only 2 volts. What am I saying? 3, 5, around 20 volts to start. Okay, so there's 20 volts on the plate. That's a pretty low voltage, isn't it? And we'll start seeing if we've got some radio action here or not. My amplifier's turned up. Here we go. We're connected to the antenna, outdoor antenna. Hopefully you can see the knobs I'm turning and see the motion inside the radio. That's what I want to try to catch. So you're watching for this capacitor to move. A little hard to see from where the camera is, and for this coil to move as I turn these knobs. Okay, I'll give a little more on the plate, a little higher voltage on the plate. Oh, that instantly made a difference, didn't it? We're at 30 volts on the plate now. There we are. I'm going to raise the plate voltage up to 40 volts now. It's at 30. I'll take it up to 40. Okay, that's 40. Now we've lost the signal a little bit, but let's see if we can find it. It sounds like a different station.
Morning and this afternoon, high of -6. Low of -16 tomorrow, and mix of sun and cloud. -9. It's -7. minus 14 with the wind chill. I'm Becca Still.
Okay, last video my camera actually stopped working, so it ended a little bit abruptly. About 2 minutes before I actually stopped it. So here's another look in the radio here. I believe it's still operating. Yep. So I'm going to be working more on this radio each week. Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. I'll be going live on Hangouts on the air. And we'll continue to just progress with this radio. And see how far along we can get it. There's 2 more stages of amplification. Those should be pretty straightforward. There's not much electronics to them, in fact. But I'm very hopeful to have this radio working just the way it worked back in 1920, probably 1925. So there we go. So I'm going to turn down the heater temperature. Interesting. I turned it up and down there a little bit. So you can see a dramatic difference with the temperature. There's a lot of things to adjust on this very simple radio. In fact, really just about everything is open to adjustment. B+, heater voltage, the interaction of these 2 coils, the tuning capacitor. That's a lot of stuff to adjust, and tricky, as you can see, but really cool to hear it working. So I very much hope you enjoyed that, and we'll be doing lots more on this radio, and I might have as many as 5 more of these to come, one after another, all in varying states of disrepair. So I could be doing these kinds of radios for quite a while. Anyway, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Toronto time. See ya. Bye.